look at the first dimension here, the aspect of focus. Focus is pretty straightforward. You have to decide what you want to get. But when we're doing that focus, we need to be sure that not only are we deciding what we want to get, but that we're prepared to get it, because everything comes with a cost. And this takes us to exercise 2, the mind stretcher question, which takes us back to Mike's presentation this morning. This is a question that I like to use because it allows us to just open up our minds a little bit. And for the sake of time, what I suggest, let's just do 1 rather than 3, unless you have 3 that really come to mind quickly. And this is, if you knew you could not fail, what 3 goals would you have focused on over the past 3 years? So if you just take a quick second and jot down some of the answers that come to mind here. So I'm not going to give you too much time because there's a lot to cover. Everybody ready to move on? Okay. Now that you've done that, you've identified some goals that 3 years ago were important to you. And you know where you are now. One of 2 things happened over the 3-year period. Either you achieved that goal or you did not. If you didn't achieve it, I'd like you to just take the next chart, number 3, and note some of the excuses that you have for not achieving that goal that would have been so important to you. And for those of you that did achieve the goal that you set out, you're not off the hook. What I want you to do is to think about the goal that you achieved and whether or not you could have achieved it quicker. Because if you could have achieved it faster than you did, then you had excuses as well. So if you could just note this down. And at the bottom, create an insight from this information. Because what we're trying to do is to learn more about ourselves. It's a bit of an interactive process. Okay? Okay, if you had excuses, you had distractions. And most people have distractions because life gets in the way. Everyday events that we have to go through get in the way of what we want to accomplish, and we get sidetracked. And these distractions, if you think about them, they're going to turn around and they're going to sabotage this goal that you've set for yourself. Sabotage is an ugly word, but this is what we're doing to ourselves. And sabotage comes in 2 delicious flavors. There's personal and environmental. Personal sabotage are things like these. Habits, hobbies, commitments. These are the things that come into our life, and they're there, they're part and parcel of our life every day. Environmental sabotage looks like this. There's another one that I could put in here, firefighting. Anybody ever have an emergency? Yeah? Let me tell you my emergency. Thursday morning, just after I finished my presentation, I dropped my laptop. Oh, no. Everything about my laptop is okay except for one thing. The hard drive. So that was environmental sabotage at its best. Now, the catch is that with environmental sabotage or personal sabotage, this is going to be there. We can't get it out of our lives. The thing is that what we can do is we can live with it, and we can adapt to it, and we can control it. So this next exercise here allows you to take the goal that you set, take the saboteur that you've identified, and then look at that from how are you going to get a savior in there to overwhelm this saboteur. Because if you think about it, your goal is a brand new baby goal. It hasn't had a chance to grow yet. And these saboteurs are 30 years old. They can smother that goal instantly. So you need something that's going to come along and save it. Gordie Howe, famous hockey player, had a very major saboteur in his career. His problem was that he hated practice. Now, how can a hockey player, the leader of the team, hate practice? Well, he did. But what he did, because he was the leader, he said, I have to find a way to deal with this. So what he did was he created what he called the game within the game. What he would do was, in the course of the practice, he would have his own little tweak that he wanted to put in it. In one practice, it may be that every shot he took was top right corner. In another, it might be that he would stick handle 3 times prior to shooting it all. And this was the way Gordy was able to involve himself in the practice with all the other players, to motivate them and to raise himself to a higher level at the same time. See, as we're getting into this idea of sabotage, sabotaging our goals, what we want to do is to create a menu for our own personal success that will take us from what we have now to what we want to be. And that what we want to be is the unsabotaged version. We know what the sabotaged version looks like. Give you an example. Let's say that you want to lose weight. Who doesn't want to lose weight? Doesn't want to lose weight?
Oh.
I got 3 hands, 4 hands. Okay. A lot of people that want to lose weight, this is a survey I took at Tim Hortons. A lot of people that want to lose weight take their coffee double-double. If you have 2 cups of coffee a day, double-double, 7 days a week, that's 112 teaspoons of sugar a month. Wow. Do you know how many teaspoons are in a pound of sugar? God bless Google. 109. So double-double every day, 2 cups, is 13 pounds of sugar a year. Imagine eliminating 13 pounds of sugar from your diet. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Or you could do like my friend Debbie did over here. She got rid of the sugar in her coffee and switched from Tim's to Country Donut. Or Country Style, sorry. So what we're trying to do there is to figure out how to make that transition back to where we want to be, to become the person that is free of that saboteur. You can do this. Some people have a problem with alcohol. They're not alcoholic, but they just want to drink less. If you think about where you drink, when you drink, who you drink with, all that you have to do is take these things and then reverse engineer yourself out of this and say, okay, if I don't go there, if I don't meet with that person, if I meet with that person somewhere else, if I go later, if I have a drink of water between each beer. These are all things that you can do that will help you change the life that you have into a different life. And none of them are rocket science, but they do take your rocket science goal that one step forward.